open the door to Tai Chi. Learn Tai Chi online, get certified.
Have you ever wanted to learn Tai Chi, or maybe even get certified to teach it? As the demand for Tai Chi continues to grow, our aging clientele will continue to seek out qualified instructors, especially for beginner classes. You can start a class. You can use it in your personal training sessions. You can bring the benefits of Tai Chi to your community. Approved by many national fitness organizations, thousands of people have learned from Open the Door and from our certified instructors. You may be asking, can I really learn to teach Tai Chi online?
The answer is no.
The answer is yes.
She says a lot of really valid things. There's obviously this enormous demand and not enough qualified teachers. And it really can help so many people. And we need more qualified teachers. But that doesn't mean that just giving somebody a certificate doing bad Tai Chi makes them a qualified teacher. That's really, really, really insulting.
Unfortunately, we often hear that Tai Chi is too confusing, complicated, or even intimidating. Some in the martial arts community have even tried to keep it that way. But if you truly look at what Tai Chi is meant to be, you will find that it is meant for everyday people like you and me. Let's break down the barriers. Learning Tai Chi is easier than you may think. Tai Chi doesn't have to be overly complicated and shrouded in mystery. My name is Diane Bailey, and I created Open the Door.
This sounds so good, right? So that's why this post, right? Over 2,000 likes, 192,000 views, 173 like mainly glowing comments. Wow. That's amazing, Diane. I can't believe that you found that secret way to take Tai Chi that is so complicated that I tried to learn and I couldn't learn, but now you've made it so simple so that I can even teach it. It's a boldness and certainty which they insist they can do the impossible. Exactly, right? Right? But saying you're loosely Tai Chi influenced, that's right. So this is why we're also touching on cultural appropriation. I'm going to tell you, you may know me. I'm the Tai Chi lady. For the past 20 years, I have studied Tai Chi in its authentic form as an internal martial art and been the disciple to one of the greatest masters in the world. A fortunate twist of fate brought both of us to Connecticut, and I've poured my soul into the study of the multi-layered complexities of this deep philosophical and martial art. 4 years ago, my master passed her school down to me to run and teach this important aspect of our Chinese culture to the Connecticut community. Over these many years, I have met many fellow instructors, practitioners, enthusiasts, and admirers of Tai Chi. I have met many people who have fallen deeply in love when seeing our art and its full enchanting display. I have seen people enraptured watching the graceful fluidity of its motion, admiring its quiet strength and control of balance. I have met many admirers who, after seeing Tai Chi, want to embark on their own journey to learn the arts. I have met many Tai Chi admirers and enthusiasts who really love the idea of Tai Chi. They have an exoticized view of what it is and believe they can have that without having to learn about the Taoist philosophies it was born from or the martial applications that is its entire foundation. They find authentic Tai Chi classes unnecessarily challenging because they only want to be able to move beautifully like they admired in the park, not to learn all the underlying components that make it what it truly is. So they bypass instructors that teach Tai Chi in its authentic form and instead flock to those who strip it of all its important cultural components and teach it as an exoticized empty shell. I have experienced profound pride in my Chinese cultural heritage because my art is so admired and appreciated by those whom I share it. I have also experienced profound otherment when the cultural elements that make my art unique and special are disregarded and discarded in favor of a culturally appropriated version of it that reduces it down to a mere fragment of its true self. I painfully watched the culturally appropriated version of my art soar in popularity, slowly extinguishing the authentic version. But I will keep the fire alive and teach authentic Tai Chi to those who want to learn its deep complexities and cultural traditions. When you take something that you appreciate and then turn it into something else that strips it of its culture, and then on top of it, profit from that, make money off of that, where people who share it in its true authentic form can no longer profit because people don't even recognize what is authentic and not anymore, you have culturally appropriated. If you support that culturally appropriated version, you have contributed to the cultural appropriation. I am not somebody who believes that something from a culture can only be taught by a person from that culture. If you have an understanding of it, you get to teach it, but you have to have an understanding of it. You can't just use the words and say that that's what you're teaching. I actually don't have a problem with people wanting to take what can really help seniors, older people who may not be able to do Tai Chi, and they want to help them. And they create a program that is modified. They call it something else, and there is a value to that. My issue with this open the door to Tai Chi program is she didn't call it something else. She is making people think that what they are learning is actually Tai Chi. If this were only an online program to teach you, I wouldn't be this riled up. But the fact that this is a certification program saying that they can certify you to be a certified Tai Chi instructor, if she really did find the secret sauce, if she were able to do what none of us have been able to do, and she really found a way, I would be the first one to support and to promote. That's all I want in this space, is for more people to learn Tai Chi well. Those of us who teach authentic Tai Chi, we have not been able to distill it, make it digestible and accessible and easy to understand for everyday people. I've been trying, since COVID, I've been coming online and I've been trying my hardest. I'm still not doing a good job. This equation we have not been able to solve. We have not been able to find the answer to this problem. But you know what? She has not found the answer to this problem. I'm going to point out why this is not good Tai Chi so that you can then go and better evaluate for yourself and help the people who are in your communities, your circles. If somebody wants to start a Tai Chi program, you can help them evaluate whether that is a good one or not. Her program, the basic certification, 24 classes. Is that what I'm reading? 16 learning modules. That's all it takes. We're going to take a look to see her movements. If she herself doesn't understand it and doesn't do it well, then what kind of certificate is she issuing out? And people need to be able to evaluate. Let's just watch her.
Ward off. Grasp the bird's tail.
She's moving
Pull
slowly,
back. Lead
fluidly.
from the rotate and press.
But just because you move slowly and fluidly, it doesn't mean that you're doing good Tai Chi.
Bringing it back to the left. Stepping out. Ward off.
Okay, so right there, right there. Is she really balanced? Is her weight over the foot that it's supposed to be on? Like, where is her upper body? If I were to just push her back on her shoulder, she would fall right down.
Help you relax.
That step was not rooted. You don't cross over to the other side with your hand. This is 101 principles there. If you cross over to the other side, you're collapsed. There is no pong. There is no root, no stability, no pong.
You're keeping your columns intact.
She's out there issuing online teaching certificates, teaching something that resembles Tai Chi, but is not Tai Chi. And she's giving certificates to other people, letting them believe that they are certified. Not enough people know how to evaluate the Tai Chi. Like, everybody knows English muffin pizza isn't real pizza because everybody knows what pizza is. Not enough people know what real Tai Chi is. This is my master. All right. So, can you see the difference in the connection, the power? You go up to any one of her movements and you push into her, she'll be able to dissolve your push. Like, if you go up at any point and try to push into her shoulder, her hips, her arms, her chest, her legs, she's so connected and so rooted that she can dissolve that push, absorb it into herself, and redirect it. This is Tai Chi. Every part of the body is linked to the others. One connected unit. Your hand is your foot. You see how that foot is rooted into the ground? She's not wiggling it because she's trying to find her balance. That's root. But at the same time, it's soft. It's connected. It's relaxed. The power comes from softness. I don't know if you noticed. We're going to go back to the other person and you can see how tense her shoulders and chest are.
White crane spreads its wings. Brush knee left.
Now imagine
Brush knee right.
you go in and you try to push into her. So many
Brush knee
points.
left.
I guarantee she is just going to
Play the
fall.
guitar.
Looks even worse now.
Pulse
Right.
the monkey.
Because now you know what to look for. No energy in the movements, no connection, no root, no pong. And do you, like, can you tell how
Ward off.
tense her shoulders and her chest
Grasp
are?
the bird's tail.
Like, there's so
Roll back.
much tension in those shoulders. You see this
Now ward
arch in her
Grasp
back
the
here?
bird's tail. Roll back.
This should be flat.
Rotate
If
and
this is not
press.
flat, there's no root. The minute you let this arch set in, you've uprooted. If your entire Tai Chi form is uprooted, then what is your Tai Chi? English muffin
One more
pizza.
step.
That's your certification program. This demand is here. Over 2,000 people agree. There needs to be an easy way for them to learn and also teach. She's just meeting that demand with her service. It's good business. It's the job of those of us who teach it authentically to educate, to inform. You need to see what is good Tai Chi and what is not real Tai Chi. There's a martial applications video.
Have
So many
somebody
people
to
do this.
Show what it
It's like,
looks like.
yeah,
So the first movement
Tai Chi,
is
it's just slow kung fu,
preparation.
right? It's just
And
slow
preparation,
karate,
if you
slow
remember, is just
taekwondo.
like that.
I just
So
do
if
the
someone were
application
coming at
slowly, and
me,
that's the
you see,
application.
I can just very easily part the wild horse's mane. If you think about that movement, we're parting the wild horse's mane like that. Our hands go like this.
Like if you can't even
What
do the
might be
movement
happening
correctly,
here
you
is
cannot
I
show
might
the
be coming
application of the
against his
movement.
neck. This is
Apply Tai Chi, do
someone
Taekwondo.
has
Yes,
my
yes.
hand.
And that's gonna like
This
be
hand,
right
this
here.
backhand is free. The first thing I do is just bring my weight back, which obviously takes him off balance. Then I use my rotation to push him away.
So Tai Chi, right?
Brush knee is very
Party wild horse's
simple.
mane. Isn't that really a neck straight with a karate
It's one
chop?
of the first movements that we learn in the form.
But like
And
the
this
people
is
who
you're
are
blocking
getting the
something
certificate
low
from
coming
her
at you low,
program, they
and
see
you're
this.
hitting
They're
something
like, oh
high.
yeah, the Tai
If
Chi
he were
she's
to kick
teaching
at me,
is a
I could
martial
come
art.
against him like this.
I'm learning the
hit his
real
nose, I
thing
might hit his throat,
because
but that
she's
doesn't
showing me the
happen.
martial arts application.
Kicks,
But
we've just
Tai Chi
done
applications
part
is
wild
not the
horse's
same thing
mane,
as
we step
doing
up
slow
to our
Taekwondo.
white crane.
Based on what I see, she doesn't have an understanding of the principles of Tai Chi. But yet, she is out there issuing certificates to other people so that they can teach this. We're going to have so many people out there teaching bad Tai Chi. So now, like, why is this a problem? Why is this cultural appropriation? Because then you have people who come to learn from people who are teaching it authentically. What you're doing is too hard. Teach me the easy Tai Chi. I don't want to do this hard Tai Chi. I want to do the easy Tai Chi. Right? And there is a demand. Senior centers, assisted living facilities, nursing homes. In this 65 and older population, there's actually a huge demand. Teach Tai Chi, with this certification program, and everyone's happy, right? Except you just completely misrepresented what Tai Chi is. So I don't have a problem with the program itself. I have a problem that she is saying that you are certified to teach Tai Chi. Call it something else. There's really, really good Tai Chi out there. That voice isn't being heard. You go on YouTube, over 9 million views. This Tai Chi 5 minutes a day module. People don't know the difference between Tai Chi and Qigong. This is Qigong. But how would people know? It says Tai Chi. It's the first hit result. So you do this and you think, I'm doing Tai Chi. This is perfectly fine Qigong. Breathing, stretching, moving. Get your energy flowing, some exercise. Very good for you. But not Tai Chi. They're different things. Jake Mace's Tai Chi. Top 10 Tai Chi moves for beginners. 5.3 million views. This is not Tai Chi. Qigong. Jake Mace's perfectly fine Qigong. Over 5 million views as the top 10 movements for Tai Chi. And it's not Tai Chi. Meanwhile, Stephen Watson, he's here in Connecticut. He is a true master of this art. He's out here making content. It is a travesty. He only has 264 subscribers on his channel. He defeated Josh Whiteskin for World Push Hands Champion. Like, Steve is so knowledgeable. You search Tai Chi and you don't even see him existing. I don't really think that there's any way you can even find Steve unless you go and search for him directly. So this has over 5 million views, and the other one has over 9 million views for Tai Chi, and that's not even Tai Chi. Part of this problem is the infighting in our own traditional Chinese martial arts community. I think that we can all agree that this is very good Tai Chi. The principles are all there. There are 28 dislikes here. And I'll tell you exactly who is putting in these dislikes. The traditional Chinese martial arts community has been infighting for so long that it's become such a toxic environment when it comes to representation of traditional Tai Chi. Their factions have been so entrenched and they just go out to take others down. This is people in the traditional Chinese martial arts community in their lineages and factions that said, no, you're doing it wrong. You're representing it wrong. It should be this way. You go to any forum and it really only takes like 4 comments before the fighting starts. It always descends down to which is the more accurate representation, which lineage represents it more accurately. If you're going to tear down all these other people who are really in the same boat as you, trying to teach authentic Tai Chi with principles. Interpretations may be different, but principles should be there. So busy fighting each other, tearing each other down, that it's left this huge void. And there's a demand for this instruction to be done clearly, simply, in a way that people understand, right? We have to find a way. If we work together, we can find a way. We can do it if we collaborated. But so many traditional Chinese martial artists won't collaborate. They just stay in their separate factions. It's on us to work through this and figure it out. Because if we can't, this is what's going to fill the need. This is what's going to keep growing and thriving. And people are going to start thinking that this is the representation. That's going to fill the void. So, okay. I think that's like everything I wanted to say. Oh, I need a drink of water. Actually, I do need a drink. Scotch and soda, maybe just a straight scotch without the soda.